everyone, this is Juani and welcome to Juani's house. Today I'm going to share with you a DIY that I was inspired to do from walking and visiting one of my local Pier Import stores. I love Pier Imports. I go in there for inspiration. I go in there to look for any types of sales, and I love their tablescapes. You know, that is my whole thing. My feeling is that when people come into your house, and especially when they come into my house, once they walk into the foyer, they automatically see my dining room, and I love to present a really nice tablescape. So I changed my area, actually my whole house during the season for every season, and where I was thinking about spring, and when I went into Pier Imports, I saw this tablescape with these bunny ears, and I fell in love. And that was another idea that I saw, and I'm trying to find everything that I need to complete this project, but it's one major thing that I can't find. But as soon as I do, I'm gonna go ahead and tackle that one. But these bunny ears were so freaking cute to me. And right before this video, I showed you the picture that I took at my Pier Imports of the table and the bunny ears. And they weren't expensive. They were $2.95, but they look so darn easy to make. And so my mind began to wonder, and I'm like, okay, how can I make these? And I'm thinking, I've seen these before. So I go back and look at some of my old catalogs and things that I had, and I realized that I had saw something similar in a Pottery Barn catalog. So I'm looking at them, and then I'm looking at the picture that I shared with you, and I'm like, I know I can do that. So what I began to do was collect some items, and I made these cute bunny ear napkin rings. They came out really, really well, and it was so easy. And the only thing that you're going to need to complete this project is some burlap, scissors, a marker, a glue stick, a toilet paper wrapper, and an embellishment. And you're also going to need like a bread knife. And I'll show you what we're going to do and how we're going to put this together. So if you think you're going to like this, and you might want to make you some bunny ears napkin rings for this spring or this Easter, stay tuned and we can do it together. Okay guys, so the first thing that I did here was, out of some cardstock that I had, I traced out and drew my bunny ears. So I just drew one, and you see I've been tracing it several times, so you see the black marker around it. And then once I drew the bunny ears, I cut it out of the cardstock. And then I go over and here we go right here. It is, I didn't measure this, but it's a fairly thick size, length of the burlap. So I just cut the burlap lengthwise, and I will probably say this is maybe like maybe like 3.5 inches in length. And so once I cut it, I'm folding it. Now I'm folding because it will take me all day to cut these ears out individually. So what I'm going to do by folding it, that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of bunny ears, and I have 3 right here, so that's going to give me 12 sets of bunny ears from this folded piece of burlap. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and then we will move on to the next step. Okay, so now I've cut out all of our bunny ears from the burlap, and so we have 1, 2, we have 4 sets of 3s. So that would give us, here we go, 6 sets of bunny ears, which in the end will be 3 completed napkin rings. So what we do now is, now these ears, I think the beautiful part of this is, one, because is that we're using burlap, and you know burlap, it's kind of imperfect, so each one of your bunny ears will be a little bit different, but I mean, I think that's the beauty of it. So to make sure that these won't unravel, we're going to glue one top to the bottom here of the bunny ears. So you glue it around the perimeter of the bunny of the burlap, as well as a line of glue down the middle. So we're going to, where's my glue stick? My glue gun is over here. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this with one hand to kind of show you what I'm doing. So we're gonna go along the perimeter here, and then here, and then one down the middle. Okay, and we will place the ear on top. Now remember, the glue is hot, so I just used a dowel. I use this thing a lot, as you see, and just to roll it along there to make sure that the top and the bottom adheres properly. And as far as the edges that are frayed around it, we can cut that off, trim that, you know, to clean it up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and glue the other tops to the bottoms of these bunny ears and clean up any frayed edges that I have, and then we will go to the next step. Okay, so here are our bunny ears, all glued together, all cleaned up. And so the next thing we need to do is take your toilet paper roll, and you're gonna take this, and with like your knife, like your bread knife, this is what I'm using right now for this, but you measure how large you want your rings to be. So you can probably get like 4 rings off of this, and just cut your first one, and then you can measure the other 3 by the width of the first one. So let me see if I can do this with you guys here. So let's go. For some reason I'm liking this side, so let's see. That looks like, okay, so here's this one. It's not perfect, but we'll clean that one up, and along the way we'll clean the other ones up. And at the in the end, you're not going to see any of this anyway, but you do want it to look even. And I think because my position of this camera was in my way was the reason why I didn't get that straight. But let's move it, and we will try it on this side. See, so this about right here. Okay. Okay. And I can get one more out of there. And these two I'm going to clean up a little bit. And I'm going to get my one more cut from this tissue paper roll, and then we will continue. Okay, so now we have all of our toilet paper rolls that are cut into 4 rings. And so now I have burlap. So you know I always have burlap on hand because that is one of my favorite materials to work with ever. And I'll work with it, you know, during all of the year, from Christmas until, you know, New Year. I might have some burlap out. But anyway, this is a burlap that I just cut. It doesn't have to be perfect, once again, because you're gonna roll it around the ring. Now, one way I tried to do it, of course you would need a thicker piece of burlap. So you would just cut it thicker and just place your roll here in the middle, and then you would have overlap on the top and the bottom, and you know, and then you would just glue it on the inside. I tried that. It worked, but then the problem was on the inside it was getting too thick. And what I noticed on the ring that was at Pier One was that their burlap length was like this, and then they had like, maybe it was 2, and then they had like a piece of plastic in the middle, and so it was very pliable. So it was sort of like this, and then they formed it into the ring, and then they had like an overlap, something like that, that they glued. Well, I didn't like that, so my option was to start here on the inside. So we're going to put some glue here, right here, okay, and then we're going to take this fringe part, we're going to take that off. Okay, and then we'll glue the inside here. Watch your hands, because you know the glue is hot, and I just pat it down in here with this dowel, and I'll bring this around. Make sure it's neat once you know you're bringing it around inside of our ring. Bring it through, straighten it up a little bit, and then on a diagonal, take it back over. Can you see that? And we're gonna do the same thing again. Now remember, all the strays, we're gonna clean that up. But like I said, the beauty of this is that it's not perfect, and I like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up, and we're gonna cut off all the strays here, and then we'll go to the next step.